Hello, my dear class 6 student. Now you have a new video. In this video, now you are going to learn English supplementary lesson number 2. The name of the lesson, The Friendly Mongoose. So already you know what is a mongoose. Say a mongoose is a small animal, say a carnivorous animal having tail, then who is very talented to fight with the snakes. So before reading the story, let's try to read some main points of the first part of the story, or you can say the outline of the story. So first, let's try to read the points. A farmer, his wife, and their small child live in a village. Then second point, there was also a baby mongoose in the house, who they believed would be their son's companion and friend in future. Then last point, one day the farmer and his wife went out leaving the child alone with the mongoose. So see first point, a farmer, his wife, and their small child live in a village. Say in a village, a farmer and his wife, along with their small child, say live in a small village. There was also a baby mongoose in the house. Say in their house, there was also a baby mongoose who they believed would be their son's companion. Companion means friend. Then the farmer and his wife thought that the mongoose will become a future friend of their son. One day, the farmer and his wife went out leaving the child alone with the mongoose. Then one day, the farmer and his wife went out leaving their child alone with the mongoose. Now let's start reading the story. Once a farmer and his wife lived in a village with their small son. Say once upon a time, a farmer and his wife say live in a village with their small son. Say the farmer and his wife have a small son. They live in a village. They love him very much. Say the farmer and his wife love their son very much. We must have a pet, the farmer said to his wife one day. Say one day the farmer said to his wife that they must have a pet. Pet means say domesticated animal like dog which is very faithful to us, then you can say cat. When our son grows up, he will need a companion. This pet will be our son's companion. His wife liked the idea. Then the farmer said that when his son grows up, his son will need a companion. And further, the farmer said that this pet, that means the pet, will become their son's companion. Then his wife liked the idea of the farmer. One evening, the farmer brought with him a tiny mongoose. Say one evening, the farmer brought a tiny mongoose. "It is a baby mongoose," said his wife. Then the farmer's wife said it was a baby mongoose. "Bird will soon be fully grown." Then the farmer's wife said that the mongoose, the baby mongoose, will soon be fully grown. "He will be a friend to our son." Then the farmer's wife said that the mongoose will be a friend to their son. Then let's see next page. Both the baby and the mongoose grew. Say simultaneously, the baby and the mongoose grew up. In 5 or 6 months, the mongoose had grown to its full size. Say just after 5 6 months, the baby mongoose had grown to its full size, a lovely animal with two shining black eyes. The mongoose had two shining black eyes and a bushy tail. Say you can see in the picture in your textbook. Say a mongoose is having a bushy tail. That means a lot of fur is there in his tail. The farmer's son was still a baby in the cradle, sleeping and crying alternately. Say at this time, say you can see in page number 4, cradle, the picture of cradle, sleeping and crying alternately. Then the baby was sleeping and crying alternately in the cradle. One day, the farmer's wife wanted to go to the market. She fed the baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. So one day, the farmer's wife wanted to go to the market. Then she fed her baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. Then, picking up the basket, she said to her husband, "I am off to the bazaar. The baby is sleeping. Keep an eye on him. Frankly, I don't like to leave the child alone with the mongoose." Then, before she left for the bazaar, the farmer's wife said to her husband that their baby is sleeping, so to have an eye on him. Then the farmer's wife told to her husband that she did not like to leave their child alone with the mongoose. "You need not be afraid," said the farmer. Then the farmer said that her wife need not to be afraid. "The mongoose is a friendly animal." Then the farmer said the mongoose is a friendly animal. "It is as sweet as our baby, and they are the best of friends, you know." Then the farmer told his wife that the mongoose is a friendly animal. Then they not need to be afraid to leave their child with the mongoose. Further, the farmer said to his wife that the mongoose is the best friend of their son. The wife went away. Finally, the wife of the farmer went away, and the farmer, having nothing to do in the house, decided to go out and take a look at his field not far away. Then, after his wife went to the market, the farmer decided to go out to take a look at his field not far away. So at this time, the farmer, having nothing to do in his house, he decided to go out of his house, and he wanted to take a look at his field not far away from his house. He ran into some friends on the way back. Then, on returning back from the field, the farmer met some friends and did not return for quite some time. Say, while talking with his friend, the farmer lost some time and he did not return for quite some time. So this is the first part of the story. Now we have second part of the story. So before start reading the second part of the story, first try to read out some few points of this last part of the story. So let's see the first point. The farmer's wife returned home from the market carrying a heavy basket. Say in this second part or the last part of the story, the farmer's wife will return home from the market with her heavy basket. Then second point, she found the mongoose at the entrance of the house with blood on his face and paws. Then when she tried to enter her house, the farmer's wife saw the mongoose at the entrance of the house with blood on his face and paws. Then third point, she jumped onto the conclusion that it was her son's blood and the mongoose was the guilty one. Then on seeing the blood that smeared on the face of the mongoose, the farmer's wife thought that the blood might be the blood of her baby. Then she thought that the mongoose killed her baby. So now let's start reading the last part of the story. The farmer's wife finished her shopping and came back home with a basket full of groceries. Say in this second part of the story, say after finish her shopping The farmer's wife came back home with her heavy basket full of groceries. The groceries means the item like the dal, then ahar dal, then rice, then flour, then wheat. These are what we call groceries. She saw the mongoose sitting outside as if waiting for her. The, the farmer's wife saw the mongoose sitting outside the house as if waiting for her. On seeing her, he ran to welcome her, as was customary. So, like every day, the mongoose, on seeing the farmer's wife, ran to her to welcome the farmer's wife. As usual, the farmer's wife looked one took one look at the mongoose and screamed. Blood, she cried. Then, on seeing the mongoose face, now the farmer's wife cried out, blood. The face and the paws of the mongoose were smeared with blood. The farmer's wife saw the blood that smeared on the face and the paws of the mongoose. You wicked animal, you have killed my baby, she screamed hysterically. Say, without knowing the truth, the farmer's wife cried out to the mongoose that the mongoose had killed her baby. Then she called the mongoose a wicked animal. She was blind with rage and with all her strength brought down the heavy basket full of groceries. On the blood smeared mongoose and ran inside to the child's cradle. Now the farmer's wife, with sadness and with the furious farmer's wife, with all her strength, drove down her heavy basket full of groceries onto the body of the mongoose. Then she ran inside her house to see her child sleeping in the cradle. The baby was fast asleep, but on the floor lay a black snake, torn and bleeding. When the farmer's wife entered into the house, she found that her baby was still sleeping in the cradle, but on the floor lay a black snake, torn and bleeding. Then she found a black torn snake lying on the floor. In a flash, she realized what had happened. She, just at the moment, the farmer's wife realized that the mongoose had killed the snake and saved her baby. She ran out looking for the mongoose. Then the farmer's wife came out of the house to look the mongoose. "Oh, you saved my child. You killed the snake. What have I done?" she cried, touching the mongoose, who lay dead and still unaware of her sobbing. Then the farmer's wife told to the dead mongoose that he killed the snake and he saved her baby. The farmer's wife, who had acted hastily and rashly, stared long at the dead mongoose. Now the farmer's wife looked at the dead mongoose for a long time. Then she realized her mistake by doing the things without thinking deeply. The farmer's wife, who acted hastily and rashly, stared long at the dead mongoose. Now the farmer's wife, who acted hastily and rashly, looked for a long time at the dead mongoose. Then she heard the baby crying. Then at that time, the farmer's wife heard her baby crying. Wiping her tears, she went into feed her into feed him. Then the farmer's wife, wiping her tears, she went into feed her baby. In this way, the story ends here. So the moral of the story is that we have to think twice before we do any work. So student, before doing any work, you have to think twice, thrice, not to happen any mistake. Now, let's discuss the question and answer. First question: why did the farmer bring a baby mongoose into the house? Answer: the farmer and his wife had a baby. They wanted him to have a companion to play with, so the farmer brought a baby mongoose into the house. Then, question number 2: why didn't the farmer's wife want to leave the baby alone with the mongoose? Answer: the farmer's wife did not want to leave the baby alone with the mongoose because she was scared that the mongoose might harm her child. Then next, question number 3: What was the farmer's comment on his wife's fears? So for this question number 3, answer. The farmer assured his wife that the mongoose was a friendly animal and it would not hurt their baby. The farmer also said that the mongoose was as sweet as their baby and they were best friends. Then next question, question number 4. Why did the farmer's wife strike the mongoose with her basket? Answer. When the farmer's wife reached home with her basket, she saw the mongoose at the door with his face and paws covered with blood. She thought that the mongoose had killed her baby. In anger, she hit the mongoose with her heavy basket. Then, next question, question number 5. Say, in question number 5, did she repent her hasty action? How does she show her repentance? Say, repent means kaigumba asoiba tabak ama nataga kaigumba nungaitaba fataba tabak ama taurokanda kona nungaitaba phaurakpado adubuni repentance haisi. Then for this answer, yes, she repented her hasty action when she realized that the mongoose had actually saved her son from a snake. She ran out looking for the mongoose, but it was already dead. She sobbed and felt extremely sorry for her hasty action. Then the last question, do you have a pet, a cat or a dog? If not, would you like one? How would you look after it? Are you for or against keeping birds in a cage as pets? So listen carefully. For this question, you have to write the answers yourself. So read the question very carefully, then write the answer yourself according to your choice. Thank you for watching the video. Now let's discuss the question and answer. Say, first question, why did the farmer bring a baby mongoose into the house? Say, answer. The farmer and his wife had a baby. They wanted him to have a companion to play with, so the farmer brought a baby mongoose into the house. Then question number 2, why didn't the farmer's wife want to leave the baby alone with the mongoose? Answer, The farmer's wife did not want to leave the baby alone with the mongoose because she was scared that the mongoose might harm her child. The next question number 3. What was the farmer's comment on his wife's fears? So for this question number 3, answer. The farmer assured his wife that the mongoose was a friendly animal and it would not hurt their baby. The farmer also said that the mongoose was as sweet as their baby and they were best friends. The next question, question number 4. Why did the farmer's wife strike the mongoose with her basket? Answer. When the farmer's wife reached home with her basket, she saw the mongoose at the door with his face and paws covered with blood. She thought that the mongoose had killed her baby. In anger, she hit the mongoose with her heavy basket. Then, next question. Question number 5. Say in question number 5, did she repent her hasty action? How does she show her repentance? Say repent means kaigumba asoiba tabak ama nataga kaigumba nungaitaba ꯐꯠꯇꯕ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯔꯨꯔꯀꯥꯟꯗ ꯀꯣꯟꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨꯅꯤ repentance ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯤ. Then for this answer, yes, she repented her hasty action when she realized that the mongoose had actually saved her son from a snake. She ran out looking for the mongoose, but it was already dead. She sobbed and felt extremely sorry for her hasty action. Then, the last question. Do you have a pet, a cat or a dog? If not, would you like one? How would you look after it? Are you for or against keeping birds in a cage as pets? So listen carefully. For this question, you have to write the answers yourself. So read the question very carefully, then write the answer yourself according to your choice. Thank you for watching the video.